you probably wouldn't believe it, but every time that we go past something or see something, it triggers something in Sam's little brain, and it reminds him of the joke. And
In
so
my
we
little brain.
Yeah, my little brain. We've
Well,
just gone cold.
Things
What was it?
actually remind you of jokes. So we came out at Coles and I said these three blokes were walking along absolutely paralytic, and the copper pulled them up. And he said, "You've been drinking?" And the first bloke said, "Nah." He said, "What's your name?" And the bloke thought, very quick on the uptake, he just pulled up name off one of the shop windows. He said, "My name's Coles." The copper said, "What initial?" He said, "GJ." He said to his mate, second bloke, he said, "You been drinking?" He said, "Nah, nah." He said, "What's your name?" And friend thought he'd follow his mate's suit. He said, pulled a name off on it. He said, "My name's David." He said, "David who?" "G'day, mate." Can that bloke interrupt a joke? He said, "My name's David." And the copper said, "David who?" He said, "Not David anyone." He said, "My name's Roger David." No, menswear. And he said to the third bloke, he said, "What's your name?" "Have you been drinking?" He said, "I haven't been drinking." He said, "What's your name?" He said, "Would you believe the New South Wales branch of the Permanent Building Society?" And just then, his other mate came round the corner and the copper said, "Hey!" He said, "You been drinking?" He said, "No." He said, "What's your name?" He said, "Ken." He said, "Thank Christ someone is sober." "Ken who?" He said, "Tucky Fried Chicken." So if I saw a Kentucky Fried Chicken shop, that would trigger me. Or if I saw Roger David, I'd say I got a joke about. Or if I saw a permanent building society, I'd say things you see remind you of jokes, don't they? Don't they?
Oh, I can't tell jokes. I don't even know a joke, so it doesn't happen to me.
What joke do you know? What is a joke you know?
Knock, knock.
What? What'd you say?
Knock, knock.
Yeah, who's there?
I got no joke for a knock, knock. I just said it. Why did chicken get to the other? Why did chicken cross the road?
So you've just seen a chicken, have you? That's reminded you of that.
Kentucky
There's
Fried
chicken. There's chickens.
There's
They
his
remind
too.
you of chicken.
Yeah.
I see there's a pig there too. See, look, there's a pig.
That's because it's a butcher.
That's right. So this bloke went up to see his relations up in the country. It was Christmas time, and a pig was out in one of the sties and had a wooden leg, just the back wooden leg. He said, "Why has it got a wooden leg?" "Oh," he said, "he's a family pet and we didn't want to eat him all at once." Oh dear. That's it, dear dog.
What have you done? Look at that. Again.
Yeah, well, look. I know you think I'm clumsy. Do you think I'm clumsy?
A little bit clumsy. Captain Klutz.
I was coming up an incline. You're ahead, so you're way like as much as a butterfly wing. I was coming up an incline on the scooter, and there was a sharp turn at the top, and you got to press to power on to get up the incline, and then the incline flattened out just as the turn came up, and as it flattened out, the scooter gathered speed and threw me into a wall. And you rode on. It took you 5 minutes to come back to see where I was. You said, "What happened?" I said, "I fell off." She's got the jumps now, anything that took. And yeah, so I'm just hoping I don't have to make another visit to the Proserpine Hospital for another tetanus shot or some transfusion of blood or something. I don't want to dissuade people from using these, but never go down sharp turns that are on the top of an incline and then you have to power on.
Or maybe just ride it properly.
Did you not understand what I said? I was trying to get up the incline, and I did explain that, didn't I?
Yeah.
What part of that didn't you follow? Hey?
If you ride it properly, it wouldn't happen. You wouldn't fall
Well,
off.
as it turned out, if you fall off it, you're not riding it properly. But I say there were circumstances that were involved as to why I fell off it.
Another trip to Proserpine Hospital.
Saw some butterfly screws for the handheld support thing for the boat. Sue in heavy engagement with a very charming lass from Bunnings. Talking about nuts and bolts and butterfly screws. I'm just resting.
Then you've got the length mending in case this starts to fly around. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, and they're flat ahead too, where these are... the
Handled that, have you?
Got the flatter head ones.
You got the flathead.
Gotta have a flat head.
You haven't got the pan
The
head.
ram toggle and the timber screws to go into the handle that you broke today.
Yeah, well, how long has this taken you?
Well, you know, we had to get the right screws because we were looking at the length. We had 8 Gs, well, we had 38, but we needed the 50, so
The 50
we
needs
got
the
there.
length.
You just sit on your ass there and just do nothing.
That's
and
right.
just do
You
nothing.
just
We
you
got
look
it
as
all
though you're
sorted.
sisters, you two.
We'll have fun and good luck with it.
Well, well
guys.
done. Thanks very much.
Come on. Come on.
Righto. Well, you've got the right stuff. I
Hopefully.
don't have to ride back. There's 5 kilometres to give a packet of screws back.
We might.
She
Just
looked
keep the
like
receipt.
she could have been your sister, that woman.
Serious?
Thought I'd seen everything. Scrub mummy. And then you can get scrub daddy. When you work out what the difference between a scrub mummy and a scrub daddy is, give us a call. What do you reckon the difference between a scrub daddy
I reckon they should have a scrub semi.
What about
Scrubs.
Sue the scrubber?
Scrubber.